Hi, folks, and welcome. It's Jim from New Hampshire Card Hunters. And in our first video, we're going to be opening up 2 boxes of hobby from the 2023 Topps Big League. Now, before we get started, I'd like to introduce the other member of the New Hampshire Card Hunters team. She's a big sports fan, but in particular of the following 4 teams: the Boston Red Sox, the Boston Bruins, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Los Angeles Chargers. She's our First Lady of Baseball, Michelle Martin Moore. Okay, so we've got the introductions out of the way. Why don't we do a little window shopping, shall we? Now, each of these boxes has 18 packs in the hobby, and the total set is 310 cards, 200 of which are the base. And then we also have another from 201 to 250 will be the uncommon rainbow foils. From 251 to 275 is the rare blue foils, and those are 1 in every 18 packs. From 276 to 300 we'll have the super rare red foils, and those are 1 in 90 packs. Those are more or less the established superstars and the big rookies: Adley Rutschman, Aaron Judge. You get the idea. And from 301 to 310 are the Hall of Fame legendary group, which is the legendary foil, gold foil group, which is Babe Ruth, Jackie Robinson, Griffey Jr., Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Derek Jeter, Nolan Ryan, Ryne Sandberg, Cal Ripken, and Rickey Henderson. There are also a number of insert sets. We've got the mascots. We've got Game Day Drip, Let's Go. Those are more rare. 8-bit ballers. Those are like 1 in 4. City Slickers 1 in 4. Become a Major Leaguer. There's 1 per box. Roll Call, 4 per box. Topps Big Leaguers, 4 in a box. And uncommon foils, which the blue, that's 1 per box. Everything else is pretty much a long shot to hit, such as the black foils, red foils, foil factors, and so on. There's also another influencer set, sports card influencers, and we'll be talking about those in the middle of the segment. It should be interesting. So without further ado, why don't we get into this and start breaking. I can open this thing up. We just got done watching the Red Sox game. And in the East Coast here, we're big Red Sox fans. I'm sure that overall you'll find that the majority of individuals up here are all Red Sox fans. There's a few Yankee fans, the older ones, but mostly it's Red Sox. And right now this team is, they've got a lot of young talent, but they don't have a lot of good management. So we'll see where we go.
When they shine bright.
Yeah.
When they don't, they don't.
They don't at all.
They don't.
No hitting, decent pitching, terrible managing. All right. So let's start opening these up right now. Let's see what we got in here. If I can open these up. All right. First pack. What do we got here? Andrew Vaughn, Jose Barrios, Mike Yastrzemski. Hey, there's an 8-bit baller. Rafael Devers. He just had a pretty good run, didn't he, Michelle? Huh? Six straight.
6 straight homies.
6 straight games with a home run.
Yep.
Shane Bieber. He's on the DL with Tommy John. Austin Hayes. He's not getting much playing time. Theo Estrada. Vlad Guerrero Jr. Yeah, yeah. He's heating up. You know,
He's such
heating
a
up.
bad ball hitter.
Oh God. All right, that was pack 1. Let's move on to pack 2. Let's see what can find in here.
It's cool getting a Raffy right off the bat.
Yeah. So I'm gonna knock the camera out of here. All right, let's get this thing open here if we can. I should have forgot to bring my wastebasket down here. All right, pack number 2. Chris Taylor, Yuri Gurriel, former batting champ. Frankie Montas, Riley Green, rookie. 1 box. Ken Waldichuk, Nico Horner, Ryan Hensley, Freddie Peralta. Not much so far.
Yuri.
Yeah, I got Yuli. That's a little better. So, let's see what else we got here. Pack 3, JD Martinez, Royce Lewis, Lars Nootbaar, Christian Yelich, Shitty Slickers, DL Hall, foil, Isaiah Kinafalafa, Justin Turner.
Turner.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we miss him.
We could use him. Whew.
Edwin Cabrera.
Why do we lose out on the big boys? JD's back to hitting again. Crazy.
Okay, 3 down, moving on. 15 to go. Nice.
Man, we could use JT's leadership this year. Wow, no one to lead that crew of young talent.
Except for Rafi. And
Well, yeah, but he doesn't even speak English. How can they... I don't know. He must have a way to converse with his teammates, but...
tell you what, these packs aren't helping me at all here. Wow, it's bad. Yeah. All right, bear with me, folks. We're getting there. All right, Graham Ashcraft, J.D. Bleday, Cody Bellinger. We got Roberto. Yeah, that's a nice shot of him, isn't it? Huh?
It really is.
Really is a nice one. Joe Musgrove, Colton Wong, Travis Darno, Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, nothing earth-shattering yet. Let's see here, though. We'll keep
Get some good players.
working here. Keep working the mill. See what we can find. Okay. He's not focusing real well. Come on, sweetheart.
She doesn't like to...
Nope.
Well, you got to find that sweet spot. Maybe. Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Robbie Ray, Tyler O'Neill. There we
Tyler
go.
O'Neill?
Tyler O'Neill right there.
Huh. We could get him back. He was so hot at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Man, if we could get him hitting again.
Vladimir
Vladdy.
Guerrero Jr., 8-bit ballers. Giancarlo Stanton. Hey, Slugger.
Hey.
Kansas City Royals. There's a tough insert set in this too. It's like I can't remember the rare. It's a rare one though. It's I'd have to look, but they have the standard 27 mascots, but then they have 30 that are the puts them in their element or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but Ha-Seong Kim, Anthony Santander, Alejandro Kirk. All right.
I'm waiting for that earth-shattering one.
You know, folks, there are autographs in here. They do run usually, I don't know, one every 2 or 3 boxes. So we'll see how lucky or how fortunate we are. And by the way, I probably did mention this at the start of the video, but everything that we open here, we're giving away. Every single card, every single hit, every single autograph, everything on every product that we open. So just understand that what we're going to do is we're going to after we go through the product, anybody who leaves a comment for us, what we'll do is the following video will put you guys all into a list, and we'll put that into randomizer.org, and we'll basically run it a couple times and pick out the 4 names or 3 names. I think we'll probably have about 3 giveaways because this is about 300 cards total with 2 boxes. So we'll throw a couple extra packs in there or something else too to, but it'd be average. Each person would probably get around 100 or so cards, depending on the release, and some, would be more on some releases, less on others, and we'll make it interesting. We'll break up the hits, how many ever there are, and then we'll send them out. So all you got to do is just leave a comment for us, and we'll use those names and add you into the list, and we'll see who gets drawn. All right. So here we go. Blake Snell, Starling Marte,
There
Alex
you go.
Kirilloff,
Julio.
Ozzy Albies, foil, Julio Rodriguez, William
You throw a
Contreras,
couple of Julios at us.
Edwin Diaz. All right, here we go. Next pack. Teoscar Hernandez. Good hitter. Like him.
Yep.
Yasmani Grandal.
Plays hard.
Sure does. Ezekiel Duran. Eloy Jimenez. He just went out with a hammy strain or something like that. Yeah, boy, I tell you right now, when him and Luis Robert are together, oh my God, it's like a wrecking crew. Yeah.
Jinx.
Spencer
We don't
Strider,
always think alike.
Zach Greinke, Andrew Heaney, Andres Jimenez.
Man,
Yeah.
there we go. You like drawing out the suspense. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
right.
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, Michael Massey.
Michael Massey. Bryson Stott. Jock Peterson. Hello, my name is... Who was that, Michelle? Juan Soto.
Is that Juan?
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that angle.
Yeah. Chaz Chisholm Jr. Ryan McMahon. McMahon's been really playing well for Colorado. He's on an island up there, though,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
all by himself.
Ryan Pepio. Alec
Bohm.
Bohm. There's another guy. Bohm's really tearing it up, too. Philadelphia as a whole. I mean, they lost Turner for a while, and they haven't missed a beat.
Easy.
Tearing it up, yeah. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. I mean, I'm looking for anything good here. Joe Ryan, yeah. Ryan's a very serviceable starter. He's had a good career in Minnesota, so. Story Ruiz, Jeter Downs, City Slickers, Seiya Suzuki, Eloy Jimenez, Boyle, Liam Hendricks, Jorge Polanco, Brendan Rodgers. Utility guy. Rodgers, he doesn't hit much. Decent infielder. Yes. Look at this. Unbelievable.
They don't want him to open.
No, they don't. Okay. Sean Manaea. Adam Wainwright. Brandon Lau.
That guy kills us.
Oh my God.
I tell you.
Hey, look at that. Shohei. Dylan Cease. Mike Trout. Out for MCL, right? MCL.
Yeah.
Brandon Drury. Shohei though, huh?
Not bad.
He's earning his money in LA, I think.
Well, I don't know if you can earn that much money. Really. I don't know.
Nolan Jones. Vinny Pasquantino. CJ Abrams. He's coming into his own a little bit.
Yeah, he is.
Ichiro. Hello. Ryan Mountcastle, foil. Shane Baz. Josh Donaldson. He just retired. Gavin Lux. He had a good career. MVP. You know. Was on those
Good
Oakland
third
teams.
baseman.
Yeah. Well, he played, Toronto, Oakland.
Yep.
Moved around a little bit. But he was a good ball player. Gritty.
We like our grit.
Alright, we got here Ty France, Harrison Bader, Bobby Witt Jr.
There's a tough kid right there.
Yeah, boy, he's
Tough kid.
going to be a superstar. I mean,
Yep.
if he hasn't already, right? He's already had a pretty good run.
He's on his way.
Yeah, Langoliers, Urias, well, we all know the story with him.
Yep.
Trey Mancini, Cody Senga, Devin Williams.
Yep.
Next pack. What are we going to have in here? Hope we get an autograph or something. That would be
nice.
Be something.
Nice to be able to give away.
Yeah. Ketel Marte, Nick Lodolo, Oscar Gonzalez, Vladdy.
Quack. Go back to that one?
Yeah, it's
It's funny. He's never upright like that when he hits. He's usually down on one knee.
right. Big leaguers, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The pitch clock there.
Nick Prado, Roddy Telez,
Yeah.
Nestor Cortez,
Yeah.
Ahmed Rosario. Rosario's playing well for Tampa right now. He really is. He's doing a good job there. He's always been pretty serviceable. So, I mean, I'm not surprised. All right. David VR, Bubba Thompson, Jose Miranda,
Mookie. Oh,
Huh?
man.
I mean,
Don't you just miss Mookie?
When we traded Mookie for, Verdugo and Wong and who was the other guy we got?
Didn't we get Jeter?
Jeter Downs.
Yeah.
We got those three guys. I mean, Wong's been good. Verdugo was okay. But I thought, Mookie was just going to, I thought after about 2 or 3 years, he was really going to kind of tap out because I just didn't think he had the size, right? I mean, he's a great player. He's proven me wrong already, right? But I just didn't think he was going to be that kind of player. I really, for the long haul for the Dodgers, and he's proven me wrong. I mean, he has really stepped it up, and he hasn't stopped, right, in 2024. He had a great year last year. I mean, they didn't win the World Series every year, but they've been there every year. So
Yeah, they've been in the running.
Right.
And what do we got left? Wong
and Richard Fitz, who we got for for
Don't even.
yeah, Dick Fitz.
Oh, yeah.
Dick
Gives us
Fitz.
the fits.
Yeah, Dick Fitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandy Alcantara, Boyle. Manuel Clase. Zach Gallen, another gamer. Josh Rojas. All right, good.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna.
Verdugo, he had the potential, but I just think Cora held him back. I mean, he shot himself in the foot a couple times, but young guy, a lot of heart, played hard. I just think he was squelched. I really do.
Well, look, I mean, when you go after a guy,
For not hustling.
and then
Raffy Devers, your biggest star, is allowed to just jog his way down to first.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here.
Call somebody out, call it your superstar. Then the rest of the team will follow. Anyway. I digress.
Dylan Carlson, Josh Bell, Riley Green, Carlos Correa.
Good player.
Yeah, Rangers captain. Right there he is. He's on a mission. Look at him. Huh? I love these. I really do like these mascot cards. I mean, as a hardcore collector, I mean, and most of the stuff that I collect is vintage, folks. I don't really waste a lot of time with the ultra modern stuff. I mean, I love some of the inserts and in the different releases, but I mean, I like this. I know it's a cheaper product, but it's fun to open. It's interesting. Bryce Harper, Jesse Winker, boom. 3 more in this box, and no autographs. Where are they? Where's the autographs hiding? What's going on here?
It's gonna be the last deck that you open there.
Last pack.
Yeah,
last pack Magic.
Yeah.
Derek Hall, Corey Lee, Andrew McCutcheon. Shohei, 8-bit baller. Wilson Contreras. Joey Bart, huh?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's lucky to have him.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's lucky to have him.
We.
I'm going to adjust my light a little bit, folks. Sorry. There we go. That's better. Joey Bart. Enrique. Kike. Logan Gilbert. Pretty good
He
pitcher.
was quite the character, wasn't he?
Yeah. Hey, the guy could play anywhere. He's like a Swiss Army knife, right?
Yep.
All right, 2 more packs, and then we're through the first box. Bear with us, folks. We're still figuring this out, all right? Jack Flaherty, Marcus Simeon, Willie Mays. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's a pretty good photo of him there. Yeah. Well, great center fielder. Matt Olson. A couple notes on Matt Olson. And one is the year he had last year. 59 home runs, 139 RBIs. Folks.
the real deal.
Those are Babe Ruth numbers. I hate to tell you, but those are Babe Ruth numbers. And, he's starting to pick it up now. So, put on your seatbelt and buckle up because, even though they lost Acuna, they lost him last night, right? Yeah, because it's the 27th when we're shooting this video here. So, yeah, they lost Acuna. But I got to tell you, that team's deep. And they lost Acuna before, and they were still successful. So I fully expect them to be there, right?
Olson is so underrated. I really think he doesn't get the attention he deserves. He's a great player.
He is a great
Really
player.
is.
And one other note, folks, is that he's durable. He's played over the last he played every game over the last 2 years, and he's currently at over 400 plus games consecutively played. So he's an Iron Man.
I was just going to say, sounds a little like someone that used to play for the Birds.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's gonna take a while, but I'll tell you right now, this guy is amazing.
Good ball
Oh, look at that! Next
There you
card,
go.
there it is.
I wasn't quite right. We had
Alec Burleson.
two-pack.
Oh wow, look at that. Well, we're gonna
There you
have to we're gonna have to put that one, sleeve it up. Max Kepler, Brendan Donovan, Jerks and Provar. Wow, one more. That's pretty awesome. Hang on, I'll be right back, folks. I got to get a couple of sleeves here.
I'm gonna sleeve that one up.
I am gonna sleeve it up, and we'll put it in a holder.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I got my. Oh man, let's see what we got here. Two bags, card sleeves, 2.5.
Yeah,
Oh, there
I
they
tell
are
you.
right here. This is what I'm looking for. Right here. Actually, you know what? I got some semi-rigid holders over here. All right, we're back. All right. Ah.
There you go.
There it is. Let's put it in a semi-rigid holder.
And remember, we're giving this stuff away. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Get your name on the list so we can randomize and
Put you in the
put you in the drawing.
randomizer.org, and we'll get you in the hunt. All right, one more pack on the first box. I can open it. There we go.
There's got to be a trick to it.
Yeah.
You'll get it. Hey. Rosarina.
Rosarina. Walker Bueller. Back at it. Reese Hoskins. Milwaukee.
Shohei.
Another one. Become a big leaguer.
What is about that?
Oh, it's just, yeah, it's expired now, but because it's 2023, but
Right.
yeah, you send these in, and you send these in, and you get
The QR code.
you get a chance to scan the above QR code to enter code and see the competition rules for your chance to get your own Topps Big League card.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Carlos Ronan, Chris Bassett, Ronze Contreras. All right, folks, that's a wrap on the first box. And before we get into the second box, we've got a few things I want to talk about, and I want to get a sip of coffee first because it might be a little long-winded.
When he says might be, that means probably will be.
So, first of all, get this out of the way here. Now, there's one particular set in here, insert set, that I think is worth talking about and needs attention. And that is the sports card influencer set. Okay? Now, as many of you know, there are potentially 5 influencers that were chosen in 2023 Topps Big League. And of those 5 in 2023, there were 4 men and 1 woman. And they added 5 more in 2024. And I'm sure you're familiar with many of these so-called sports card influencers. Like Javs Family, like Striker Breaks, like Mama Breaks, Jeff Wilson, Chai City Breaks, and so on. So there are, like I said, there are 8 men and 2 women in these 23 and 24 big league sets. Now, in order to really talk about these people and to qualify them, the first thing that came to mind, now I did do some research on these guys, but I know most of them anyway, so it's not a big deal. I mean, I know what they do. I've read their media. I've watched their videos. And I formed a conclusion on these 10 individuals. And I'll get to that in just a little bit. But before I do, I had 2 questions that came to mind when I heard that in 2023 they were adding 5 individuals. in a sports card influencer set. And question number 1 was, how did Topps arrive at these 5 individuals? And question number 2 is, what were the qualifications that Fanatics used to, let's say, vet these people to crown them as sports card influencers? Okay? Now, obviously, we don't know the answers to that. My guess would be that they probably went on to social media, looked around, talked to a few people, or was, saw the most popular videos, and they contacted these people and said, hey, you want to be a sports card influencer, right? Without really doing any background check on these guys and girls. But I put a little thought process into this, and where I arrived at was, I found that there were approximately 4 check boxes that I think you need to have in order to call yourself a sports card influencer. Now, let's get into them. And I think the first one is pretty self-explanatory, and that would be tenure or experience in the hobby, right? Now, to be able to, well, let me just back up a second. Let me give you an example. If you were doing some renovations to your house, and you were going to, let's say, do a kitchen over or a bathroom, or you were going to do a couple bedrooms, and you got the names of 5 contractors that all had the same qualifications, all came highly recommended, all were qualified to do the job, and all gave you the same price point, okay? And the first guy has 1 year of experience. The second guy has 2 years of experience. The third, 3. The fourth, 4. But the fifth guy has 25 years experience. Now, all things being considered, and they all have the same, let's say they all have the same expertise, they all have the same price point, they all do good work, they all come highly recommended, right? But if you had to choose one of those 5, which one would you choose? Now, for me, well, the answer is pretty simple. I'm taking the guy with 25 years. And why is that? Because the guy with 25 years has a deep knowledge base. He's seen a lot of things happen on the job. He's seen a lot of issues come up during his career in, let's say, being a contractor or a general contractor or doing renovations. And they're able to, or he's able to, physically deal with that problem quickly, find the solution quickly, and move on, right? And because he's experienced, and because he has all these years behind him, and he has that deep knowledge pool, it makes his job easy, but it also makes him, a better choice than any of the other 4. And that's not a knock, let's say, on the other 4. It just means that all things being equal, you're going to choose this particular individual, right? It makes sense. So, knowing that, and now switching it over to the hobby, right? The same thing applies here. Do you want a guy who is, let's say, Fanatics has given, put in the set as a sports card influencer, who has like 1 year of experience, or it's been in the hobby 2 years or 3 years? I mean, does that really seem right or correct? I don't think so, because if you're going to have experience in a hobby, that means, let's say you have 20 years or 30 years of experience in a hobby. If you have that kind of experience, then you can physically span across decades when it comes to talking about the hobby itself, the different releases, vintage and modern, right? You can talk about something from the 70s, you can talk about something from the 80s, you can talk about something from 2000 or 2024, right? If you have that experience, if you have 20 or 30 or 40 years in the hobby. Whereas someone who has 5 years of experience can't do that because they just haven't had the time. They haven't been in the hobby that long. So, all things considered, right? When I have to check that box as far as experience goes in the hobby, where you understand the hobby, you understand the sport, right? You know how to navigate through those areas. You have the deep knowledge base to pull that information from and to talk effectively and efficiently to your audience, right? So, my take on this is simple. At a very bare minimum, you should have no more or no less than 10 years. All right. I think at a minimum, you got to have 10. And I think a more baseline approach here for someone who's going to be even think about calling themselves a sports guide influencer should have 20, right? Or more. I think 20 is a fair, for someone who has a lot of experience, it's a real joy to listen to them because they can pull, they can explain, they can use some of their own experiences, in that hobby or at that time to pull from. So that's check box number 1. 10 years minimum, 20 years as a base. Michelle, any comments on that?
Yeah, the only thing I just want to play devil's advocate for a second though is that the hobby has changed so much that are they looking for the influencer for the modern era? How are they going to influence and pick up people from the modern era? But I do agree. I mean, experience, you can't knock experience.
There's no.
I mean, there's no substitute for experience and being able to go back and go, well, when you're talking about Hall of Famers, if you don't know the Hall of Famers, how are you going to really give a good impact statement on whether or not somebody should be a Hall of Famer?
You mean like the guy we were watching the other day that pulled Ryan Sandberg and said, I have no idea who this guy is.
Ooh,
I've never heard of him before, right? How about those guys?
Yeah,
huh? How about those guys?
That was crazy. That was crazy. Like I don't know everyone, but to not know Ryan Sandberg.
It's ridiculous.
How do you? Yeah.
And then
it's crazy.
Right, and then
it's crazy.
Right, and then they butcher names like Luis Ariz is Luis Aris.
Aris, yeah.
And they stumble through these. And I'm not saying that everybody is like that, or that guys that take it seriously, that do videos on YouTube. I'm not saying that they're not experienced or they make sure that they have they're all their ducks in a row. But what I am saying is there are a number of people that just kind of fly by night here, and these guys are out of control, right? I mean, they don't do it right. They don't understand the hobby as well as someone who would be more experienced and is able to really educate people, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about here, because right now in this hobby, we have got a lot of different things going on. And there's a lot of bad actors here, right? There's a lot of bad actors. And these people are taking full advantage
Yeah.
of all of these people that are either newbies, to the hobby, that don't understand, the ins and outs of, like, let's say these group breakers and things like that. And they're just getting taken to the cleaners.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Their hard-earned money is being flushed.
And they're chasing people away.
Yeah. It's just not right.
Right.
It's just not right.
Right. But anyway, folks, that we kind of got off kilter a little bit, but we had to talk about the first part of this, as far as the sports card influencer goes. Now, the second checkbox here is, well, it's expertise, right? I mean, and we talked about this just a minute ago. Now, when we're talking about expertise here, okay, we're talking about a person, whether you're an influencer or not, you can span across decades, right? And that means you can talk about the players, You can talk about the rules. You can talk about the history. You can talk about the sport. You can talk about current events. You're familiar with the hobby, okay? You can span down and talk about the 19, like someone like me, for instance, I could talk about the 1971 set because, folks, I was opening up 1971 cards. I was opening up 1970 cards. I mean, I was a kid, yeah, but in 68, I was in the hobby, all right? So, I mean, and things were different back then, the way that they distributed the cards, how they distributed them, and so on. But the idea of it here is that if you have somebody who is, let's say, very knowledgeable, who has a lot of experience, who can do all those things I just talked about, and can communicate that effectively to the audience, I look at that as a benefit, and it's someone that I want to listen to and someone that I want to be educated by. And those types of people can find the little nuggets along the way that they ran into, or when you're talking about certain sets, for instance, and some cards were omitted from certain sets. Like in the 68 set, there were certain team cards that never get in 1968 Topps, right? Whereas I think there were like 6 or 8 teams that never made it in there. Now, a lot of people might not know that, but it's true. Topps, for some reason, I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the article because I read an article on it a while back, and they talked about how I believe the Red Sox were one of the teams, but there was about 6 or 8 teams that weren't in the 68 set. So when you have somebody that has that kind of knowledge and can navigate through those areas and educate not only the experienced collector, but also educate the new collector that's coming into the hobby in the ultra modern years, like we're opening up right now with 2023 Big League, then it's a win-win for everybody as far as I'm concerned. But there's too many bad actors out there, and we need to really level the playing field on this, right? And that's why it's important to have a hierarchy of qualifications. So if you don't meet those qualifications, right, then you shouldn't be a sports card influencer. Anyway, so I mean, again, I think this goes with the with number one as far as overall experience. The expertise part of it is a big deal. All right. Now, so that's checkbox number 2. I think you need to have a lot of experience. You need to have a deep pool of knowledge. You need to be able to physically convey that knowledge to your subscribers out there, your viewership, and to move forward and to educate all of those particular people about about the hobby, about the sport, about the history, and so on. Because I think it's important. I mean, if you don't have that and you don't understand the hobby, you don't understand how the hobby works, and the players and so on, and it's hard to really grasp, I think.
You need somebody that's going to mentor these kids.
Right.
These, not just kids, but I mean, a lot of them they're kids that
Right.
want to enter the hobby, but there could be older adults that are entering the hobby. They need someone to wrap their arm around them and say, these are the things you should be looking for. This is what's going to help you in the hobby, and not just be looking at making a buck.
Right. And things to stay away from, like
Yeah.
like getting into these. Look, I know a lot of people like these group breaks, but I'm telling you, folks, it's a lose-lose, okay? And I know it's fun. It's probably fun to see your name on a piece of paper, and I'm sure it's fun to, have somebody pull a card that's, it's got your team, whether it's the Red Sox or the Giants or the Angels or the Dodgers or whoever. But really, I mean, come on. In the grand scheme of things, it's a losing proposition, right? I mean, you're better off to buy the box and open it yourself than you are to physically get in these group breaks. But we'll talk about that down the road. We're gonna move on here. checkbox number 3 to me, this is another big one, and I don't think I would be suspect that I don't think any of these particular individuals have this particular angle covered, but there may be somebody, but I'm not sure. Anyway, checkbox number 3 for me is personal experience, and what I mean by that is in playing the game, right? So you got a connection between your, how you, if you played, let's say, from little league all the way up to high school, and then you played, after high school, either in college or you played in some of the independent leagues or something like that, or town leagues. There are a lot of opportunities in those leagues to play. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you're somebody who has a lot of experience in playing the sport, and in particular, if you're a really good ball player or woman softball player who's played the sport, because I don't want to leave the women out here. We love the women athletes. We enjoy watching them just as much as we do all the male athletes. Okay, so we're not trying to be biased here or anything like that. We want to go both ways. So whether you're a woman that plays softball, a girl that plays softball, a guy that plays hardball, and so on, I think it's important to note that I think if you're a really good ball player, if you're a middle of the road ball player, I think it has value, right? Because you understand what goes into playing the game. You understand the different parameters, such as instinct and skill sets. And that can mean a number of things, right? Skill sets to me means you've got good plate discipline. You have defensive prowess. You run the bases well. You have good defensive positioning. You know how to read, ball flight. You understand the communication factor of dealing with the other ball players on your team, and particularly those players who are really, like, let's say you're a 5-2 player, okay, and so that means you can hit with power, so you can hit for average, you can hit with power, you can run, you can throw, and you can catch, right? So, and I would add one more in here, right? I think there are such thing as 6-tool players, and the 6th tool to me is that you're a great study of the game. And if you're a good study of the game, right? In other words, you know all the rules of the game, you know the discipline of the game, the intellect, the inner thought process of the game. And I can tell you that it's important because as a player, when I played in the MSBL leagues and the Twilight leagues and the Sunset leagues, I traveled with all-star teams, and most of these guys were either Division I players or they played in the minor leagues to some degree. Almost all of them, and I can tell you that these guys have a much different process than the average, let's say, hobby collector out there as far as when it comes to the sport. Because when you've been connected like they have been, either in the minor leagues or in Division I college, the thought process is way more elevated than it is for someone who played Little League, okay? And it's not to insult anybody here, but it's just the way the hierarchy works. I think the higher the level that you played, the more it will help you as, let's say, if you want to call yourself an influencer, great. But if you're trying to communicate to your audience, if you're trying to get your point across, and it's and in this case it's sports related, you've got a real advantage there because you have the ability to pull from your own personal experiences, plus your hobby knowledge, and knowledge of the sport. So now you've got all those three things working for you, right? And I don't think a lot of people really, count that up as a big plus. But I think it's a huge plus. What do you think?
Well, I didn't have the chance to play baseball, but I played softball. I coached softball. I've been around good players. I mean, I got the privilege to coach a lot of really talented players. And there isn't the professional softball to watch, but there's baseball, and there's a lot of carryover, but there's also things that are uniquely different to baseball than softball. And I think that, Jim and I have a lot of conversations about, why aren't they playing more small ball? Why aren't they doing... It frustrates me when I see someone who can't handle the bat and he's a big leaguer. You should be able to lay down a bunt. So that expertise doesn't necessarily have to be in playing the sport, but surrounding yourself with someone who has the knowledge so that you can learn as you go. So that expertise, that sixth tool, can sometimes take, in my opinion, can sometimes take and replace the fact that you personally didn't play, but you surround your person, and you've surrounded yourself
right.
with people that have immersed themselves in the sport, and you can learn from that. So, because I don't have the expertise of playing,
right?
But I love the sport, and I would like to think that I can carry on a good, knowledgeable conversation about the sport, even without having played.
Well, you watch it all the time. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, look, folks. I would just say this. The rule of thumb here is that if you're like, let's say, if you want to get better at any sport, I don't care what it is,
Surround yourself
hockey,
by good.
right? Hockey, baseball, football, whatever it is, you have to surround yourself with players that are at least as equally talented as you are or better, right? Because you can't get better if you're around people that don't have that level of expertise, that don't have that level, that next gear to get you, to push you as a player. And I can say that as an athlete, playing baseball. I can also say that as a runner, because I was around a lot of great runners too, and I took that up later after I got out of baseball. And I got to tell you, the same thing applies there, right? You surround yourself with players that are at least as good as you or better. And that's how you get better. That's how you go up a level or two levels. And it's really important to do that.
It is.
So from a personal experience, right, I think if you played baseball, if you played football, if you played hockey, whatever sport it is that you played and you were good at, it's certainly an advantage to you when you're trying to explain your points or convey your information to your subscribers, right? And I think it's important to understand that the better you were as a player, the more effective you will be as, let's say, a person who wants to convey that information to others, right? Let's just leave it there. So that's box number 3, and I think it's a big one, right? And I think it's important. I think it's as important as or equally important as, the hobby experience, the expertise, and also the playing experience. Now we get to the last but not least important. There we go. And that is morals and ethics. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you an example of two different things that would cause you to not have, let's say a conflict of interest or be morally compromised. All right. Now the first one is, let's say Fanatics approaches me and they say, Jim, we really like your videos. We think you're doing a great job with your YouTube channel, and we'd like to have you come to Fanatics Live and break or do videos with us. How would that sound? Now, if I say yes to that, guess what? I'm disqualified, because I won't have the ability to say, constructive, I would call it constructive criticism, to be able to use constructive criticism in my comments. And let's say, for instance, we're opening up Big League, and I think Big League is a terrible product. I want to be able to to be able to say that in a constructive manner, not necessarily, let's say, attacking Fanatics, but pointing out where I think the product kind of falls down, right? And I think that's important. So, and if I'm on Fanatics, then physically, if I say anything, I'm sure Fanatics is going to say, Jim, we really like you and everything, but we're cutting back on the amount of influences that or breakers that we want to have on our site, because it's just we don't have the room right now, and so thanks for all you've done for us, but we gotta cut corners here. And that's just a nice way of saying, hey, you talk bad about us, right? You talked in a negative way, and so you got to go, okay? So that's one example of what I would call a conflict of interest for, let's say, a sports card influencer, right? And and I think that you're morally compromised when you do that, because now you're basically given a one-way idea of the product. In other words, it's all positivity or nothing at all, right? And I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to the individuals out there that are counting on, let's say, these sports card influencers to do the right thing, right? So I think that's one good example. Another good example would be this. Now let's say Upper Deck comes to me, and we're both big hockey fans. Unfortunately, our Bruins got knocked out, huh? Yeah, but we're big Bruins fans, and we like hockey, and I watch hockey all the time. I mean, I think it's a great sport. I played it in high school, and it's enjoyable. And players like Connor McDavid and so many of these other great players. I mean, we got Pasternak, and Swayman's a great goalie, and so on. And I mean, you go up and down the line. I mean, there's tons of great players in the NHL, and they're fun to watch, and it's really exciting. It's a really exciting game to follow. But let's say Upper Deck came to me and they said, Jim, same scenario here. We like your video. We know you've been opening up our product. We're going to be doing a release coming up of our latest hockey product. We'd like to use you to help promote it. Is that something you would be interested in? Again, if I say yes to that, then I am morally compromised, right? I mean, it's a conflict of interest. You can't do that, okay? And unfortunately, this is going on. This is rampant, all right? There's all these affiliates that these guys got. I got this guy doing this. I got, Tops. I'm affiliated with Tops. I'm doing Breaking Live, and and I'm sending kudos, either on my YouTube channel or Instagram or any of those media, Facebook. And I think you're doing a disservice to all of the different possible hobby collectors, sports enthusiasts out there, right? By taking that stance, by going down that road. And so, to me, morals and ethics are are one of the four big ones. And I believe that if you have an affiliation with let's say a Fanatics, an Upper Deck, a Panini, Leaf, whoever, or somebody that could put undue influence on you to not say what you want to say when you want to say it, I think that that's a problem. And so that's the fourth checkbox here. If you don't, to me, you need all four of these. You can't have three. You can't have two. You got to have all four. All right. And so now we're going to make this circle back to these 10 individuals. And looking at these 10 individuals, seeing their media, looking at what they do, who they're affiliated with, how they do it, and so on. And I'm sure they're very nice people. I don't know any of them personally. I have no affiliation with them. I don't know them from a hole in the wall. Okay, and this isn't personal. This is just, as you can see, I'm going through this particular bullet list, these check boxes, as I would want to treat myself. This is the way that I'm going to approach it. So for me, when I see other people, let's say, doing things that I would call borderline morally compromised, then I have an issue with that, and I think everybody else should too. And we need to clean up the hobby, and we need to set things right. So those are your 4 check boxes. Now, you're probably wondering, you're saying, well, Jim, if these tended, and I just want to say this nicely, right? That I don't think any of these 10 people qualify to be sports card influencers. Not one of them. For one of these 4 reasons, right? Either it's from an experience standpoint, or from an expertise standpoint, or from a playing connection to the game standpoint, or from morals and ethics standpoint. I think none of these 10 individuals qualify to be sports card influencers. Now, it might become a lightning rod for this, but that's okay, because I'm standing on my morals here, right? And I think that's important. But you might be thinking, well, if these 10 individuals don't qualify to be sports card influencers, well, then who does? Well, let me give you a little food for thought here before we get ready to move on. And I'll just say this. I'm going to use myself as an example, only as an example. Not because I want to be a sports card influencer, not because I have any, influence that I'm looking to, push other people out of the way or anything like that. That's got nothing to do with this. I'm just using myself as an example of who or a person that would qualify with these 4 individual check boxes. Now, I started collecting in 1968, okay? I opened my eBay store in 2020. No, 2000. Yeah, 2020. It was way
before that.
And I opened my eBay store in 2000. Okay. I started doing shows and buying and selling back around 1980. So I started collecting in 68. I started going to shows in, let's say, around 1978 or so. I've had my eBay store since 2000, and I've been in and around the hobby for all a part of the last 7 decades. Okay? From a player perspective here and connection, I played every level of baseball coming up through, from Little League to high school. And then as I mentioned earlier, I went into the Sunset League, then I went into the Twilight Leagues, and then I went into the MSBL leagues. Okay? And while in the MSBL leagues, I started my own team. I basically built my own team from scratch. And I built it from the ground up, and I built it on, let's say, team first and talent second. Now, I could have chosen guys that were, I knew several guys that were really good ball players, but they had big egos, okay? And I didn't want that on this team because it's, as a team concept, all right, if you have a number of good players around you, but maybe not great players, you're very effective. And if you have a couple of good, really talented players around you, and you have a lot of good players, you become really, really good because you're lifting all those other guys up, right? Another level or 2 levels, okay? So, I built the team from scratch. It was only me and one other guy. And then basically, in the 7 years that I was there, we won, 3 championships in 7 years. And I was an MVP of the league. I traveled with an all-star team, okay? And like I said before, in the MSBL leagues, I mean, these guys were super talented, and many of them were much better than I was. And I felt like I was a pretty good ball player. But when you're talking about guys who play at Division One, or you're talking about guys who play in the minor leagues, and they it's the whole mindset of being around these guys that lifts you up too, and makes you a better player. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I did all these things, and I managed my team, and I played, and it was great. But as you can see, all of the things that I've done, right, including I've had my eBay store, I've got 100%, feedback. I don't have any actions to the ground with anybody, and I try to do things fairly and effectively and morally and ethically, right? And I think that really matters. So I'm pretty sure that I can talk the talk and walk the walk, okay? And that would be one example of somebody who can check all four of those boxes, who would technically be qualified to be a sports card influencer. And so I'm going to wrap this up, and we're going to move on to the second box now. And I know it's a little long-winded, but I think it needs to be said. And I hope that, more people take this type of thing to heart, because I think it's important. I think it's important in the hobby, and I think it's important for the hobby to grow, right? Instead of driving people away, we want to bring people into the hobby, right? And I think that's where my mindset is right now, is to get through to people, to understand that, yeah, there's good people around, and there's people that will educate you, but you got to find them, and you got to get away from the people that aren't going to help you and just take your money and leave you high and dry. Anyway,
I just want to interject right
okay.
there.
Yep.
The long-windedness is just a sign of passion. It truly is. I mean, and isn't that what you want out of someone who influences you? Shouldn't they have a strong passion, not just for the fame, the notoriety? Yeah, that's cool. But it's a passion for the hobby. And you're not going to find too many people out there that are more passionate than Jim. I could be slightly biased, but there's a passion that an influencer should have. It shouldn't just be, oh, look at me, I'm cool, I'm an influencer. There's a passion that is there, that needs to be there.
All right, folks.
All right, let's have some more fun.
Yeah, let's have some more fun.
Let's get another autograph. Let's get another auto.
We're gonna push this around a little bit, so let's move these over here.
Let's see if
leave that there. All right, well, here we go. Let's do this. There we go. That's better. Okay. So we're on to box 2, and again, this is how our channel is going to go. From time to time, we're going to have these discussions about different things in the hobby, about different, the sports and so on, and we'll talk about all of these, and we're gonna get into it. Okay, box number 2, first pack. Lars Nootbaar, Graham Ashcraft, JJ Baudet, Seiyu Suzuki, Spencer Torkelson, Jurickson Provar, Chris Bassett, and we just saw this. Yeah, we just saw this in the last pack. Ronci Contreras. Yeah. Jeez. We don't need. Well, hey, if there's another autograph in there, I'm all good with that.
Yep.
Pack number 2. If I can get it open.
Maybe we should
bring
some scissors down next time.
Wowza. Well,
I tell you.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be too rough with them either, because
you don't want to ruin a card.
I don't want to ruin the card. I've seen how some of these other guys do it, and it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, ripping open stuff, ripping them out of there. Oh yeah, good stuff. All right, let's see here. Kyle Stowers, Olivia Piguero, excuse me. Leova Piguero, there we go. Alec Thomas. Hello, my name is. Yeah, we just saw this. Yeah.
What the heck? Did we get
I
the
know.
same
Jeez, I hope not.
same pack twice?
I don't know. I don't know. Shohei, Alec Manoa, Boyle, Andres Jimenez. You know, he's having a great year. Ryan McMahon. Yeah, we just saw this. Yeah, and Pepio. We just saw these.
This is crazy.
It's crazy. Well, I don't know.
Crazy town.
Let's see if we can have some more magic here. God, this is unbelievable. I got the worst packs in the world, I think, to open up, huh? Yikes. There we go.
Maybe that should be a secret sound.
Right. All right.
There's Cody.
Cody Bellinger, Robbie Ray, Tyler O'Neill.
Are you kidding me?
No, this is different. That's Betts.
I know, but
George Springer.
wow.
Shane Baz.
George Springer.
Donaldson.
Hey, that's
and
a
Lux.
good one.
Yeah, it's a different insert, but the same players. I mean, we got.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's only the second box, and I mean, we're already seeing the guys we already opened up in the first box.
Right.
But what's going on here? Blake Snell.
Man, he would have been a good pickup for the Sox.
Yeah. Starling Marte.
No, can't get him.
Chisholm.
Tim Anderson.
Yep. Anderson.
Timmy. Mr. Matt.
Mr. Matt. That's great. Love it.
The baseball head.
Austin Hayes. Theo Estrada.
Vladdy again.
Vladimir. Let's move this up a little bit here. I gotta move this. Let's get this a little better here. I gotta get a little more light here on this thing. There we go. That's better. That's better. All right. What we got here? Kielhoff. Hernandez again. Yasmani Grandal. Joey Votto.
Joey.
Max Meyer.
It's nice.
Nico.
ball.
Ryan Hensley. Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, I gotta keep remembering in my head that this is big league. This is 2023.
2023, right.
That's I gotta remember that because I keep looking for. I'm thinking vintage. No, it's not vintage.
Bubba Thompson. Jose Miranda. JT. City Slickers. Luis Robert.
Luis Robert.
Yeah, it's a good player. Matthew Liberatore. Liam Hendricks. Jorge Polanco. Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, folks. We do have an eBay store. We have right now. We have a little bit of everything in there. We got about a little over 1,800 items in the store, and we cover all the sports: hockey, baseball, football, basketball, and non-sports, both vintage and modern. Okay, so we've got all kinds of autographs. We've got all kinds of game use stuff. We got the older stuff too. That's where my forte is. So yeah, it's in the link below on our YouTube page. So if you got a couple minutes and you're interested, take a walk over. Take a straddle over there. Michael Massey, Duran, Stott, Mookie Betts, Chris Bryant, Isaiah Kinafalafa, Justin Turner, and Edwin Cabrera.
I tell you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Easier said than done. These would give me a real problem here. There we go.
Well, again, it goes back to the fact that you care about not destroying the card that
Right.
you're going to be giving people.
Jock Peterson, Sean Murphy, Brandon Crawford, Chaz Chisholm. Hey, there's Bayo. Rookie.
It's not a bad one.
Nope. Colton Wong,
Leonardo.
Travis Denard, Lourdes Gurriel. Again, we've seen a lot of these.
That wasn't a bad Bayo. Boy,
Yeah, Bale's.
wasn't he skinny in that one?
He's a hell of a pitcher. I'm telling you, Pedro's been working with him, man. He's
He'll
gonna,
get there.
He's going to
He'll get
figure it
there.
out.
Yep.
He's a hell of a prospect. Adolis Garcia, Zach Wheeler, Joey Gallo, Derek Jeter, 8-bit
Wow.
ballers. Yeah, he's a
There you
Hall of
go.
Famer right there. Jose Abreu. They just activated him today or something like that.
Couple days ago.
Hassan Kim. I think it was just today.
Was it?
Yeah, Anthony Santander, Alejandro Kirk. I've seen those. Seen those before.
Kirk is a pain in the ass to the Red Sox.
I tell you, for the way he's built,
I know.
you wouldn't
It's
think,
crazy.
you wouldn't think to yourself, oh, this guy's going to be a great ball player because he doesn't have that build, but he
He is.
does pretty well. All right, what do you got here? Let's see here.
Yeah.
Muncy, Tyler Stevenson, MJ Melendez,
Adley Rushman.
Adley Rushman. Wow, Adley
Look at
Rushman.
that.
Adley Rushman, huh? So,
Man.
yeah, I'm going to talk about Adley for a minute. Yadi
Yeah.
Molina.
Look at that. 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 catches, right. There's another Hall of Famer coming up. Julio Rodriguez, William Contreras, and Edwin Diaz. Michelle and I were talking about Adley Rutschman not too long ago, and we were curious. I mean, when he first came up, we said, oh, well, we'll see how he does. And I got to tell you, he's been great. I mean, his home run production isn't what I would call, incredible, right? Mind-altering, but Garrett Mitchell, why is this not focusing on me? Come on, baby.
Yeah, it's been in and out all night.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Yeah. There you go.
There we go. Garrett Mitchell, Jose Aranda, Oswaldo Cabrera, Shohei, Alex Burleson, Rizzo.
Greinke.
Andrew Heaney. Yep. So anyway, so we were talking about Rutschman, and then we were talking about some of the Hall of Fame catchers. Now, Michelle, how many Hall of Fame catchers do we got?
20 or so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Dylan Carlson, Josh Bell, Derek Hall, Pujols, Ezekiel Tovar. Hey, look at that. Pause. Yeah, I love him. He's quite a little tiger mascot.
Yeah.
Mike Trout, Brandon Drury. And so of those 20, how many are there aren't that many modern catchers that are in the Hall right now, right? I mean, you got Johnny Bench, you got let's see, Bench is one, Carlton Fisk is another. If you want to go, Gary Carter, right? You got Corey Lee, McCutcheon, Flaherty, Bo Jackson,
There's not
Tucker,
that.
Hyunjin Ryu, Trey Mancini,
Mike
Cody
Piazza.
Sender, Piazza, right? That's one people probably don't get a lot.
I forget about him.
And then you got Yogi Berra going back a little bit.
Yeah.
Ted Simmons, right? Ted Simmons. There's a couple others. Then a lot of them are old timers, right? And do we really think that right now in the early stages of Rutschman's career that he has the makings of a Hall of Fame catcher? Do you think he's a pretender or a contender?
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some nice plays today.
Right. He's good defensively.
He's
He
good
hits
defensively.
well. He doesn't strike out much. He's a decent home run guy. He's not going to wow you with the home runs, but he's He's solid. He doesn't strike
He's
out
very
much.
solid.
Right. He's a good bat handler. Right. Marcus Simeon, Randy Rosarina, Walker Buehler, Julio, Jeremy Pena.
Jeremy Pena. The old Umena.
Yeah. Devin Williams, Rowdy Tellez,
Oh, Rowdy.
Nestor Cortez.
Yeah.
So I think there's a reasonable chance. I mean, if he
There's a chance, but
if he
I mean,
stays healthy, right?
Yeah, that's longevity is one of the keys. I mean,
Right.
he's got to stay healthy for long enough to really to solidify himself. You know, you can't say within a few years. I mean, can we see potential there? Sure, but longevity is they got to be able to do it for a long period of time.
Ron Jones,
Just my
Pasquantino, Bregman. Become a big leader. We've seen that, right? I got one of those per box. Franco,
Yeah, no.
trouble,
Yeah.
big trouble. Ahmed Rosario, Emmanuel Clase.
Yeah.
All right, 3 more packs, folks. 3 more packs. We'll see if we get another.
It was the
Another,
next to the last pack before it.
Yeah.
We got our auto on.
C.J. Abrams. Trying to get this to focus in. I don't know what's going on with this thing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
There we go. C. Abrams, Vaughn, Berrios. Who's that? Bryant. Oh, yeah. Chris Bryant, right. Hunter Brown, Zach Gallen, Josh Rojas, Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
He's a loud one.
Yeah, he's
He's passionate.
He's passionate, and he's holding up the team while Trey Turner's away.
Yeah.
Stremski.
There's Mikey.
Yeah. Chris Taylor.
You got
Yuri
Captain
Gurriel.
behind me.
Yeah. Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman.
go.
There he is again. 8-bit ballers. Miguel Vargas. Jesse Winker. Joey Bart. And Enrique
Kiki.
Andres. Yeah.
Kiki. Is this our last one?
Last pack, folks.
Oh,
this
come
is
on, we
it.
gotta have
Then
that
we're gonna wrap
auto.
this up. We've been
that
again.
auto.
We're already an hour and 20 minutes in. I'm sorry
you
about
kidding
that.
me?
No, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. Frankie Montas, JD Martinez, Royce Lewis, Bobby Witt, Corbin Burns, Logan Gilbert, Max Kepler,
Please hard.
Brendan Donovan. Well, we got one autograph anyway, and I might have missed something in here. I might have missed I probably did miss a couple of blues because there's supposed to be one in every 18 pack. So, folks, if you enjoyed the video, we're wrapping it up here. If you enjoyed the video, we hope that you'll take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Again, we're giving all this product away, every bit of it. We're giving every card, no matter what it is. We're giving it all away. We're going to break them up to like 100, per box. And the only thing you'll have to do is have a PayPal account and send us like a 1 cent so we can get your address to send you the cards. So certainly, again, visit our eBay store, hit that like button. We hope you enjoy the video, and until next time,
Au revoir.
we will see you then.